Now, I don't know what he's going to say about this, but I can guarantee you this. He is not going to offer any evidence. There simply isn't any evidence against evolution. There are straw man arguments, there are silly arguments, and there are questions that have been asked him 100 times. There is no question about evolution. Francis Collins, the former head of the Human Genome Program, and himself an evangelical Christian, stated that even without a single fossil, the DNA evidence is strong enough to prove the tree of life and shared ancestry. All of the American academies of biology, medicine, anthropology, geology, chemistry, and physics have all stated that evolution has been proven beyond doubt and is no longer subject to debate. Now, I'm sure Ray will say that actually there are an increasing number of scientists who think that evolution is simply a fairy tale for adults. But let's put this in context. It is true. You have the Discovery Institute, who recently published a petition entitled Scientific Descent from Darwinism, which listed 650 scientists who they claimed didn't believe in evolution. In response to this, the National Centre for Science Education produced what was known as the Petition of Steve, which was a petition open only to biologists called Steve. And as of last Monday, they have received 1,063 signatures. So, I think this more or less speaks for itself. That is about all I have to say, and I will yield the rest of my time to you.
Just as I take the floor, can I just ask you around the microphone to say, just turn your cell phones off. There's a couple that are on, but that'd be cool.
Thank you, Sam. Very grateful for you sharing your thoughts, and for Richard Dawkins' thoughts as well. Yeah. Folks, I really appreciate you coming today. There's nothing more healthy than open debate. There are many countries that won't allow something like this. They allow it in the United States and New Zealand and other countries, so I'm grateful for Sam and for those that organised it. What I'd like to talk about today is atheism, evolution, and the existence of God. As Sam touched on, an atheist is someone who believes that everything was made by nothing. Now, a normal atheist denies that through gritted teeth because it's intellectually embarrassing to say that everything was created by nothing. But if you say, I have no belief that my Ford truck had a maker, you're saying nothing made it. It just happened, which is a scientific impossibility. We've actually got quotes on a website called pulltheplugonatheism.com, in which Cornell University say that everything was created by nothing. We've got physicists saying everything was created by nothing. We even have a clip from Animal Planet teaching our children that everything was made by nothing. Sam, do you really believe everything made nothing? Nothing made everything? Okay, we'll do it in the rebuttal. When you push an atheist and say, do you believe that everything was made by nothing? They'll say, oh, no, I believe something made everything, but it wasn't God. It's very interesting that our greatest scientist on the face of this earth cannot create a grain of sand from nothing. We can't create a leaf, a blade of grass. We can recreate, but we cannot create. Do you know, if we could create grass, we would solve the world hunger problem. If we could make grass from nothing, not recreate it from what already exists, but if we could make grass from nothing, we could stick it through some cows and have milk, cheese, butter, yogurt, and ice cream. But we don't know how to do it. We can't make grass, we can't make a leaf, we can't make a frog, we can't make a flea. We can't make a grain of sand from nothing. We don't know how. So how intellectually dishonest is it to say, I believe that everything we see, flowers, birds, the sun, the moon, the stars, the trees, the marvel of the human eye, 137 million light-sensitive cells in each one of your eyes. You think of the marvels of the human body, to say all this happened that was created by nothing. It's crazy. It makes no sense. Now perhaps you, like Sam, are a believer in the theory of evolution. I used to be until I asked for evidence. Let me just share with you a few thoughts about evolution. Let's look at the evolution of the dog. Let's say I do believe in the Big Bang, the theory of the Big Bang. We won't ask where the gases came from before the Big Bang or the material for the Big Bang. We'll just say there was a Big Bang. And then 1 billion years passed, and we're there to witness the maturity, the evolution of the dog. 1 billion years. There it is, 4 legs, a wagging tail, ears, teeth, liver, heart, lungs, kidneys. And it's got eyes. Now the dog has been blind for 1 billion years, but finally the eyes have evolved to maturity where he can see. And it's good that he can see because he has to find a female real quick. If he can't find a female who has evolved at the right place, right time, right reproductive organs, and a desire to mate, he's a dead dog. He has to keep the species going. Then you have to apply it to giraffes, elephants, horses, cattle, sheep, goats, fish, and birds. In fact, you have to apply it to 1.4 million species. Every single one of these species had to evolve with a female alongside it, right place, right time, right reproductive organs, and a desire to mate, or they couldn't keep the species going. Evolution really is a fairy tale for grown-ups. Or the question, which came first, the heart, the blood, or the blood vessels? If the heart evolved first, why did it evolve when there was no blood? If the blood came first, how did it get around when there was no heart to pump it? If the blood vessels came first, why did blood vessels evolve when there was no such thing as blood? And the only way you and I can intellectually reconcile the issue is say to ourselves, you know, man was created fully formed, fully physically mature, with eyes, heart, liver, kidneys, lungs, blood, skin to hold it all in, alongside a female, and the ability to reproduce after its own kind. And same with dogs and horses and cattle and sheep and goats. Everything was created fully formed with a female and the ability to reproduce after their own kind. I recently took a camera crew to Paris. And while we were in Paris, we visited the Grand Evolution Museum. We spent an hour looking around that museum for the evolution display. We couldn't find it. We had to ask an attendant in broken French, where is the evolution display? And they took us to a corner where there was a stuffed monkey with Lucy written on it and Origin of Species in a glass case. And folks, that was it. And that's how evolution works. You ask an evolutionist, what proof is there of evolution? Give me some scientific proof. They'll say there are millions of fossils. And there are millions of fossils. But they're not evidence of evolution. They're evidence of creation. Special creation. There are no species-to-species transitional forms in the fossil record. That's what's known as the missing link, but some people think it's no longer missing. Oh, it's still missing. I've got a friend, he's one of my long-standing friends. He's actually 7 feet tall. I don't know what that is in meters, but it's bigger than I am. His name's Gilbert. Gilbert has a huge head. 7 feet's up there if you're not sure. He's got a huge head, he's got a big brain, he's got big hands, he's got big feet. He wears size 17 shoes. I wear 8.5. His shoes are big enough for a canoe for our whole family. Now if somebody found Gilbert and my bones buried alongside one another, an evolutionist is going to say, Chihuahua man, Great Danian man. For sure. But we're the same species. We're the same kind. We're Homo sapiens. And throughout creation, in the fossil record, you'll find there are variations within the species. The fossil record doesn't show kinds of animals slowly changing into other forms of animals. You say, what about Archaeopteryx? Archaeopteryx is a bird with teeth. They say it's got a tail, it's got teeth, and it's got claws. Therefore, it evolved from a dinosaur. No, it's a bird. The fossil record also shows 2 other birds that God created with teeth. Look around at creation. God has created weird animals. Think of the kangaroo, this huge mouse that hops around Australia with a pocket in front of it. Or think of the giraffe. What a weird animal that is. Or a zebra.